Reasons why early Christian scribes were pretty awesome, part 4. Today we're going to talk about the use of the paragraphos, or paragraphoi, in the plural. What are we talking about? Well, let's look at an example from Codex Vaticanus. Some scribes, not all of them, but some scribes, when they mark the start of a new sentence or perhaps a new paragraph, they might use this thick overbar. It kind of looks like the overbar used with the nomina sacra, indicating the start of this new unit. It would play out in one of two ways. Sometimes you might use up the whole prior line, getting through the end of a verse, and in this case, the scribe also used a raised dot, which we covered in a previous video, and this marks, in this case, the end of 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 11. Then when you start the new verse, you would put that overline, that paragraphos marking. This is the start of 3, verse 12. So that's a pretty common way it would play out, and often they do coincide with modern verse numbers. Alternatively, let's say you don't actually fill up the prior line. In this case, 2 Thessalonians 3, verse 13 ends with the kalapoiuntes there, and then there is a raised dot that you can barely see, and then the first word of the next verse, in this case it's the A there, the epsilon iota, starts the next verse, but you mark it actually in the left margin, wherever it's kind of as soon as you can. In this case, it's above the de with that overline. So even though the verse actually begins on the prior line, the paragraphos marking draws your attention to, hey, this is the start, in a certain sense, of the full verse, but you have to go back a few letters to pick up where it actually begins. You also see it in this case in Codex Sinaiticus. This is John chapter 1, marking the start of John 1, verse 14. Notice that overbar above the word sarx. However, the verse begins in the prior line, kai halogos, sarx agenita. So you can see that really the verse starts with that chi there. In fact, a later scribe added those dots above it, and then you have the paragraphos there, marking the technical start of the verse in the margin, or near the margin. But this isn't just something that you find in New Testament manuscripts. It's not even something that you find only in Christian manuscripts. But as an example, this is Papyrus Oxyrhynchus 654 of the Gospel of Thomas, and you see very prominent paragraphoi there marking the start of each logia, or each logion of Thomas. So this is a common convention that you see, once again indicating that early scribes were keen to help you understand how to read the text they were copying. This is yet another way that they tried to do that, in conjunction often with dots or spaces or other features.